This is Ms. Quoted. Thank you for stopping by. I just wanted to reiterate in video 5, we had talked about shoulder posture when working out, and I'm going to show you some of the tips and tricks I use to make sure I understand my shoulder posture while I'm working out. So as you'll notice, I'm lying on the ground, and what I'm doing for this is, one, I'm able to have good spinal alignment. So I've got towel under my neck supporting my neck, and we went through discussing where you put your towel roll in the video number 2 sleep video. So you don't want it to feel like there's a bump. You want to find a place where you just feel supported. So the towel roll should almost feel like it disappears and your neck is just supported. If you feel like there's a big bulge there, you don't have it in the right location for your body. For me, my towel roll location is where my last cervical, which is your neck vertebrae, and my first thoracic, which is your chest vertebrae, kind of meet. So that's where mine go. I also can feel, am I arching my back and flaring my ribs? Are my ribs down on the ground? And then you can see I have a knee roll, so that's keeping my lower back in good alignment. So if I lie flat, I tend to tuck my pelvis, which is kind of where you pull your belly button to your back and lift your pelvic bone up. And I want to have a nice little lumbar curve. So I find that having my knees supported helps me maintain that curve and that good posture. Once my spine is in alignment, I can get a more effective workout when I'm lifting weights. The second thing that this is doing for me is when you have hypermobility Ehlers-Danlos, you tend to have bad proprioception. What is proprioception? That's your knowledge of where you are in space. So a lot of times I'll find myself just like walking around with my wrist either flexed or bent, not because it needs to be, but because then my brain knows where my hand is because it feels where the pain is. Otherwise, I'm not really sure where I am in space. So you notice yourself doing weird things, holding your body in positions that are just a little painful. That's what's going on, is your brain is like, I lost track of you. I need to know where you are. This is how I'm solving this problem. So by being on the ground, I can feel where my shoulders are. I can feel where my ribs are. I can feel where my hips are. I'm not twisting or turning or doing anything weird. So I'm keeping my body in good alignment by lying on the ground. And so I'm just going to do a basic bicep curl lying on the ground. And I'm just I don't have to worry about the rest of my position. I'm focusing on just getting the bicep curl going. And that bicep curl is a lot more efficient and effective than if I was doing it in space. The other benefit is I can't hyperextend, right? I hit the floor, I'm not going to hyperextend my elbows. So that's another thing that hypermobile people tend to do, is hyperextend their elbows, and they can actually hurt themselves when they're lifting weights by doing that. So here's an easy way for me to get an arm curl going. Now, another thing that I might want to do is do just kind of a raise and bend down. So this is working both your shoulder and your elbow. It's a little bit of a row, but again, it's kind of limiting your mobility, and it's preventing me from twisting my body or popping my shoulder or doing something crazy. I know exactly where I am in space. Now, if you want to do a tricep curl, what you can do is I like to touch the inside of my arm with the opposite hand just to make sure it's stable and I'm not going wide or going in and doing something crazy with my shoulder. And then I can just do my tricep extension. And this again allows me to do a more controlled movement when lifting weights. And I'm just lifting 3 pounds here. I'm not doing anything really impressive. Talk to your physical therapist about what level of weight would be appropriate for you. For me right now, 3 pounds is all I should be doing. Okay, so that's a couple of exercises you could do, some of these like kind of shoulder extensions. And again, it's just limiting your mobility. It's limiting your hypermobility. It's keeping you kind of in a more normal plane of motion, Just saw the cat go by. That was pretty funny. All right, so that's just today's little lesson. I hope you enjoyed that. Just a couple of ideas on how to modify your workout so that you can do a more effective workout for you and stay healthy and not hurt yourself.